Now, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader will face off today in a televised debate on health policy. The one-hour debate was organised after Kevin Rudd and Tony Abbott traded barbs about the issue in Parliament last week.
The government plans to take 1/3 of the state's GST revenue and use that to fund public hospitals. The debate will kick off an early, unofficial election campaign. Our Canberra correspondent Melissa Clarke takes a look at how Prime Ministers and their challengers have fared in debates gone by.
The 2001 election debate was a fiery affair. It was held in the shadow of the Tampa crisis, which saw the opposition leader first reject, then accept the government's move to strengthen border security.
In 4.5 hours, you flipped from one side of the street to the other on this issue.
Now, the person who flip-flopped on this, Prime Minister, if you want to use those insulting terms, if you don't mind my saying, was you.
It was the last of the debates where the two leaders really engaged with each other, rather than the competing monologues that we've seen more recently. By general acclaim, Kim Beazley won the debate and put himself back in contention. But that didn't stop John Howard leading the coalition to a narrow victory. 3 years later, a new challenger. A younger, more aggressive opposition leader unsettled the Prime Minister. Mark Latham plugged his new policy on Medicare.
Labor believes in Medicare, which is one-tier, world-quality health care for all Australians, and will never surrender, will never walk away from that commitment.
John Howard focused on security in light of the recent bombing of the Australian embassy in Jakarta.
Terrorism is an insidious threat to our way of life, and we can never negotiate or compromise with terrorists.
The worm went with Mark Latham, and he was able to claim victory in the debate, but like Kim Beazley, couldn't convert it at the polls. Roll forward to 2007, and the worm upstaged the leaders.
Channel 9, you're in breach of the licensing agreement. If you continue to use the worm, we will pull the feed.
Channel 9 used the meter to judge the performances of John Howard and Kevin Rudd, defying orders not to run it. Changes to income tax and climate change were central issues in the debate, but no matter what John Howard said, the worm dived.
Peter Costello will succeed me.
And no matter what Kevin Rudd said, it climbed.
7 out of 10 of Mr Howard's cabinet are either lawyers or former Liberal Party staffers.
This time, the worm called it right. Today's debate will be different. The election campaign proper hasn't started yet, so the stakes are lower, the pressure less intense, and the subject matter will be much more tightly defined. But it's still an important test for two men trying to get each other's measure. And for whoever loses, there's the chance for redemption, with 2 more debates still to come. Melissa Clarke, ABC News, Canberra.